Hey Paula and Philadelphia cream cheese, it's Brittany Griffin again from Mississippi, and today for my second side dish submission I'm going to be cooking what I like to call easy cheesy eggplant casserole. So to start with this, you need 4 cups of diced eggplant, which you dice pretty roughly. Of course you need your Philadelphia cream cheese. We're going to use an entire tub or an entire 8-ounce block. You need a half a cup of bell peppers roughly chopped, a half a cup of, I use Vidalia onions, roughly chopped. You need a whole can of cream of mushroom soup, and then you need a half a cup of breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese to taste, which we're going to top it with later. So to get started, what I want to do is I have a tablespoon of butter, which I've also added like a tablespoon of olive oil to. We want to get our peppers and onions sauteing. And I chop those pretty rough because the eggplant is diced pretty roughly. I'm actually going to show you how to dice that, or how I diced it. I've almost got my entire 4 cups. Let me move this out of the way so you can see. So I just slice the eggplant in half, and then I take this, I'm going to slice, you just slice it up, and then I slice it again because it's pretty thick, and then you just want to cube it up. I think that should be about 4 cups. And it is. So we've got our 4 cups of eggplant. So you want to dice up the bell pepper and onion roughly, just because to me I like for things to be the same size. And since the eggplant's pretty roughly chopped, I did the same thing with the peppers and onions. So I want to salt and pepper our onion and pepper mixture. We love eggplant in my family. We cook it so many different ways. My mom loves to do eggplant parmesan. We do fried eggplant. We saute it, put it in casseroles, all kinds of stuff. But we really love casseroles in the South, so I thought this would be the perfect side dish to any meal. So you want to let your peppers and onions saute just a few minutes till they start to become soft. And then you also, at that point, want to add in all 4 cups of your eggplant. We don't want to really cook, or you don't have to cook these vegetables all the way through because they're going to continue cooking once we put them in the oven, which I have preheated at 350. So we just want this to saute and let all this soften up just a little bit before we add the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so now that our eggplant, peppers, and onions have been sauteing for about 5 to 8 minutes, you can see that they've become just a little bit tender. And as you're sauteing them, you'll notice that they may start to dry out a little bit. So if they do, I just usually drizzle a little more olive oil. And I did salt and pepper once I added the eggplant in. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to use my pot holders. I'm going to dump this entire eggplant mixture into a bowl. And try not to spill it all over the kitchen counter. Okay, and now to the pot, we are going to add our entire can of cream of mushroom soup. And we're also going to add, and you may want to lower the heat just a tad, we're also going to add the entire 8-ounce tub of the Philadelphia cream cheese. And what we want to do is just melt these two together slowly. You don't want to do it too quick and have it scorch, but we just want to slowly incorporate these two together. So this process takes just a few minutes. So we're going to let these two things kind of marry together, and then once they get done, we're going to add in, back in the vegetable mixture and get it in the oven. Okay, so now our cream cheese, it only took a couple of minutes, but our cream cheese has melted into our cream of mushroom soup, and you can see how just creamy and yummy that looks. We're going to add our eggplant, peppers, and onions back in. We just want to incorporate all of that together. Tell me that does not look delicious. Okay, and then what I've done is I have buttered an 8x8 baking dish. So, now we've gotten all this mixed in together. I grab my pot holders again and try to do this without spilling it everywhere. Ooh, I'm doing pretty good. Oh my gosh, I wish y'all could smell this. Ooh, it smells so good already and it's not even finished. Okay, let's make sure I turn the heat off of that. So now that you've got your casserole in the baking dish, we're going to top it with half a cup of breadcrumbs that I told you about earlier. You just want to make sure and evenly distribute so that every bite has that crunchy crust on top. Okay, and then to make it even more decadent, we're going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top as well. And this is freshly grated Parmesan cheese. But you could use the Kraft if you wanted to. They have a wonderful pre-shredded Parmesan cheese. Okay, so once you've gotten that on there, what I like to do is drizzle a little bit of olive oil just on the top. That way it helps the breadcrumbs and the Parmesan cheese not to dry out, and it helps it to brown up really nicely. So I've got my oven preheated to 350 like I told you. We're going to pop this in the oven, let it bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. Every oven's different, so just watch it, and when it starts to brown and get bubbly, you know it's ready. So we're going to get this in the oven, and then I'll see you in about 30 minutes. Okay guys, it's been 30 minutes. I just pulled the easy cheesy eggplant casserole out of the oven. I've let it rest for a few minutes so it wasn't scalding hot. And now I'm going to serve up a little bit. You can see on the top that it's gotten nice and brown, and the cheese has gotten all crunchy. So I'm going to serve myself up a little bit. Ooh, you can see it's still pretty warm. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. I think this would be the perfect side dish for, you know, chicken, for, of course, in my opinion, fried chicken would be delicious. Pork, a steak, anything, really. Okay. So as you can see, that Philadelphia cream cheese made it nice and creamy and rich. Okay. I'm going to taste a bite. The moment of truth. Let's get a perfect bite. I can see the chunks of onions and bell peppers. I want to get some of that crunchy top. Be sure to blow on it. That is unbelievable. Oh my gosh. If you don't go get the stuff and make this tonight for dinner, you are crazy. This is unbelievable. The eggplant and the onions and peppers are just like the perfect tenderness. The cream of mushroom is yummy, but that cream cheese is the star of this. It makes it, it's got that little bit of a tang, but it makes it so creamy and decadent. Oh my gosh. You have got to go get the stuff and try that recipe tonight. You are going to love it. So I hope everyone has a great week. I can't wait to see what everybody else cooks up. I'm loving trying all these cream cheese recipes. Everybody have a great week, and I will see you next week.